Hi there, I'm Lou Nayo. I'm with Virtual Financial. I've been here for 17 years, seen a lot of things going on. I'm also an old guy. I've been around for a long time. Who would have guessed that 25 years ago Sears would be gone and Amazon a top retailer? Who would have guessed 25 years ago the internet would be here? We'd have all sorts of different things that we have now. TikTok, LinkedIn, Facebook, X, whatever. Anyway, it's a different world we live in these days. But there's a major problem in the country, and that's what I want to address today. People are financially illiterate. They have no idea where their money, how to use their money properly. They end up living paycheck to paycheck. Take a look at these statistics. Kind of scary that people can't cover a $400 emergency with cash. But the one I find real scary is that 33% of American adults have zero retirement saving. And the credit card debt is high and it's going up again. The solution to this problem is very simple. People need financial literacy training and they need a plan. Now the plan, an ideal plan, really should cover their wealth, their protection, their accumulation, and their distribution of the plan. And it should be suitable for the client. It needs to be affordable, it needs to be wanted, and it needs to be something that solves real problems. It's sad that most people do not have a plan that's up to date and specific to their needs. However, there's a major problem. Who can create this plan? And actually, who can present it? And I contend that the presentation is more important than the creation. I tell you, a lot of people can't do it. A brand new agent can't do it. Brand new agent, just particularly if they work for one of the big standard companies, they go into the office. The first thing they look for is where the restroom is and the paper clips. They're not going to be able to create a plan for somebody. And there's an awful lot of agents specialize in one product, like final expense, term insurance, mortgage protection. They can't do it because they have a product. They're concerned about products, not about people. And then there's other people that have an agenda: stockbrokers, gold traders, crypto, real estate agents. They can't do it because they're primarily concerned with what they have, the market they represent. Who can do it is a seasoned, independent life insurance agent, can have the knowledge, the ability, and have all the products to create a perfect plan. But finding that agent is getting very, very difficult. Let's look at some facts. Population of the country is increasing. The number of agents is decreasing. Some of them are retiring. Some of them are just moving back into doing very little because the market is changing completely. The life insurance products that are available today are entirely different than those that were available 20 years ago. There are actual products that almost become investments today that were not even around 20 years ago. But they take a lot of training and a lot of compliance issues to handle these products. 90% of new agents quit because they cannot make money. They come into a job, the products are complex, finding people to talk to is complex. They don't get any money until they sell something. They have to get licensed. They don't make the money and they give it up after a year, 90%. Which all means more trained agents are needed. The key word there is trained. It cannot be just new people coming in off the block. They have to be people that know what they're doing. And it takes a while to get there. So a new approach is needed. The traditional approach worked 50 years ago. It hasn't changed for 50 years. The biggest change came from the pandemic. But that really didn't really change anything. It just cut down some driving. Virtual financial system is the new approach. Starts with our name, Virtual Financial. You say, hey, wait, doesn't everyone use Zoom? Isn't everyone virtual now? Well, the pandemic definitely changed things and people started using Zoom a lot more or one of the other screen shares. I mean, 100 screen shares are out there. But Zoom, only thing they did is they cut down driving. They still do everything exactly the same way. One agent does point to point, learns the products, finds the people, does the analysis. Anyway, but they're not really doing virtual as we do virtual. We started our new approach over 10 years ago. The pandemic had no effect on us. In fact, the pandemic was a boon to us. Started with Chris Delfino. He was a man with very high up in one of the big organizations at the time. He had offices down in San Luis Obispo and in Fresno, California, and in Sacramento, where his family had a farm. He was driving all over all the time, and then his family had a problem with the farm, and he had to go back up and save the farm, and he had to leave the insurance business. But he wanted to get back into it, and he said, I'm not going to do it again where I have to drive all over. It's really not necessary. There's some things that are here that weren't around when he started out in the 80s. The internet was not around. So he and a couple of other people started from scratch to build a new, modern, 21st century insurance marketing system. Internet was the key to that. Also, why have offices? I mean, you can have an office where there's an internet connection. You don't need offices. And why have geographic territories? Geographic territories were set up on how far you could drive in a half day. And that's no need for that now. Have the whole country as your territory. We had a lot of experimenting, did a lot of working with what works and what doesn't work. There were some problems along the way with that. Learned some things we started out doing and found out that wasn't really an improvement over the other way. We've got to the point now where we have a great system. We know what works. But the biggest thing about the system, and it's always been the heart of it from the start, is this. Our most important change was the production line. Henry Ford started building cars very differently when he put together the assembly line. He said, why have somebody have the skills to build a whole car when you just take somebody and they do one part of it, they do just that part of it, and they pass it on to someone else that does the next part. It goes faster, you get better equipment, and you end up having happier people because they can do something, they know what to do. We've done exactly the same thing. We have broken down the insurance marketing and selling system into an approach where each person does something different and can do exactly what they want to do until they learn to do something else. So our assembly line starts with a new agent. If the agent's not licensed, we get them licensed. Immediately we get them licensed. They don't get paid till they get licensed, so it's smart to get licensed right away. The new agent then starts learning our system. Our system is really very simple, but it needs to be learned, needs to be understood, and needs to be implemented properly. New agent gets a lot of training by his manager, remotely mentored by his manager over the internet. Everything is done from a home office. No travel to anything, no cost involved once you're involved. And the training is all free. We have tons and tons of training, but it starts out with the manager. After they get a little into the system of ways, they start talking to people. Then they offer the book. How Money Works, Stop Being a Sucker. This is one of the big things right now that makes us very different. We don't go looking for people who want to buy insurance. That's going to scare them off. Well, what we do is we offer them the book to help them with their financial literacy. In this case, new agent knew Elon, and then so they're going to offer the book to Elon. And Elon and the new agent talk, and the manager is brought into the call with them. And then depending on where it goes, the manager then has a longer talk with Elon. Now this talk may go nowhere. It may turn out that Elon is happy with everything, has no interest in doing anything. In that case, we just wish him well and go on. But he might have some issues. He might have some issues with his finances. So we use our CRM to schedule one of two things. If he's interested in the finances, we schedule him with a financial professional. And that financial professional can be anywhere in the country, but he has to be licensed in the same state that Elon is in. So that's the first thing. And they also mail a book to Elon at that time. Or if he's at all interested in learning more about virtual financial, we go into our CRM and have an email we send out that introduces Elon to virtual financial. Let's say that the financial professional talks to him more. The financial professional has a Zoom meeting with Elon. In that meeting, explains the rule of 72. This is a training session. It's not a selling session. We train and maybe take orders, but this is a training session. Explains the rule of 72, how important that is. And he also explains the 7 money milestones. 7 money milestones show what the basis of a plan should be. Then collects Elon's financial data, his income, his expenses, his assets, his liabilities, and anything else that's important. Also, he talks about what does Elon want for the future, what are his hopes and dreams. The financial professional then analyzes the data to prepare a comprehensive 18-page report. This 18-page report goes back to Elon. So this is the good, the bad, and the ugly. Here's where your money is going for. We found people that are spending things they really don't understand how big they are. Like subscriptions. People have Netflix, and they have YouTube, and they have Hulu, and they have whatever else. I mean, there's a whole bunch of them out there. You know, they cut the cable, but now they're spending more money on subscriptions than they are on they were with the cable. And so we give them some options there, but we also look to see if there's any suitable life insurance solutions that can help Elon. And to do that, we go to our 200A rated companies. We'll talk more about the specifics here and there, but we have a lot of things we can offer Elon. We're not product oriented, we're people oriented. We look for something that's going to help them. If solutions are found, illustrations are prepared, which will be reviewed in the next session with Elon. And I say solutions. It could be one thing, could be multiple. We don't know. We don't go into these things with a perceived idea whether there's something there. We need to find out what the person's needs are, what his wants are, what his capabilities are, and then we can put something together. If it's suitable, suitability is key. So suitable options or solutions may include, protections early death against disability, build wealth to have a legacy, guaranteed increased lifetime retirement income, lifetime tax-free income, guaranteed no loss of funds, pay for long-term care. I don't know what else there might be in here. If there's anything else, let me know. But this is just about all that people need for their future. The financial professional report presents the report to Elon. Now, Elon has options of that. He doesn't have to do anything with us. We're very low key. If Elon says, I like that, but I have a friend that's life insurance agent, or my brother's life insurance agent, I'm gonna let him see this. I might get it from him. That's okay. We would hope that we've done enough job training him and helping him that he would go with us, but we don't insist that people do that. If he approves the option, the financial professional then manages the application process. He takes the application, he presents it to the company, he works with the underwriters, he works with Elon, they need more data. There have to be physicals involved or more information from doctors. The financial professional will work with Elon to get that all done. It's not a simple job, not just turning in an app and getting. Now some policies can be done that way. They can be issued in days, but you get more complicated policies, they take a little longer. If Elon approves it, and then when the policy is delivered and the premium is paid, the new agent gets 65% of the commission. The financial professional gets 35% of the commission. The manager gets an override. And these figures can be pretty substantial, even though they're going to start out not very high. Anyway, that's one of the things that really makes us different. This is our basis of the production line system. The assembly line has these advantages. It has 3 positions: an inviter, which is the new agent, a manager, which is an experienced agent, and a financial professional, which has to be certified by us to know what they're doing, because it's not a simple process. The assembly line provides compensation for newly licensed agents while they're being trained. When the first sale goes out, the only thing the new agent did was get a name. Everything else was done by the manager and the financial professional, but the new agent gets 65% of the commission. This delivers consistent company-wide training. That's very important. One of the things you'll see we don't require, but we think the best way to make money is to build agencies. And if we're going to build agencies, they need to be doing everything exactly the same way, just like a McDonald's or a Subway or coffee shop. Anyway, they all operate exactly the same. If you're a manager at McDonald's in Timbuktu and you move to Seattle, you do exactly the same thing. And this provides options for all agents. They can pick a position or positions. You can be an inviter only, you can be a manager only, you can be a financial professional only. We have a lot of people who are inviters and managers. We have several people, not too many are just only financial professionals. We have several of us that do all three of these. But again, we don't say what you must do. We say here's what the options you can do. But we want to make sure you do them in the right way when you're trained. We don't want somebody that's new to try to become a financial professional right away. And since the financial analysis is done by a seasoned professional, only suitable product recommendations are offered. We want to make sure we're doing the right thing for the client, not for ourselves. And there's some operational options. You can be you can build an agency. You can just be a producer, or you can be a referral agent. A referral agent is someone like an accountant or a coach that has clients they're working with. They find out they need life insurance, they can recommend it over to a financial professional. And the referral agent, the only thing they do is tell them what they want, and they get most of the commission then. Assembly line is tied together by our cloud-based CRM. On that you get it shows the tasks that are due. It'll show the tasks are due today, show the calendar, and it ties all the people together. Everyone is together in one operation, and that's key. There's only one set of data that everyone works on, and this is good. It's data protected, and it's good secure data. We don't keep any life insurance data in the cloud. We keep that. Each financial professional keeps it on their own secure system. You might say, okay, you got a great system there, but what happens if you go broke? And in my time in the high tech business, I've seen people who had great ideas, but they went broke because they couldn't sell the product fast enough. Leadership is everything, and we're owned by Aegon. Aegon is a Dutch company that is one of the largest financial organizations in the world. They're one of the few organizations that are considered too big to fail. That means they're under great compliance requirements. They cannot do anything at all that does not pass worldwide compliance regulations. And that's good, but that also makes us covered by these same compliance regulations. We have to do everything right. Aegon owns Transamerica. Transamerica was formed in San Francisco after the San Francisco earthquake. Transamerica owns the World Financial Group. The World Financial Group is a large IMO, has insurance agents all over the country. They've been around for quite a while, but they're our back office. They primarily work with the clients and do all the back office work. They own WealthWave, or WealthWave is part of World Financial Group. WealthWave is our marketing organization, and we're Virtual Financial. We actually have access of all these groups. Kind of looks like we're at the bottom. We're actually at the top because we can use WealthWave's tools, we can use World Financial Group's tools, we can use Transamerica's tools. So we got the best of everything. You say, okay, so you can only sell Transamerica? No, wrong. We have over 200 companies that we can sell. And these are companies that are specifically selected by World Financial Group. There are companies who want to come in here all the time. We provide a lot of the product of some of these companies. There's one of the major companies in here that we provide more than half of their premium volume, and that's pretty significant. We have over 400 products. I guess everything is life insurance, but we got term with living benefits, whole life, index universal life, max funded IULs, disability, long-term care and disability riders. We also have a whole series of annuities, multi-year guaranteed, fixed immediate, fixed deferred, fixed index deferred, single pay, multiple payments, 3, 5, and 7 and 10 year terms, actually longer terms than that. And there's what's called hybrid products, which are a combination of life insurance, long-term care, fixed income, and they're become much more popular, the hybrid products. And there's something a lot of these products weren't even around 20 years ago. That's one of the big problems that a lot of long-time agents are having. Say, okay, you got a great system. Show me the leads. Show me the leads. I've been selling for 100 years or not quite that long, but it's always been the challenge. Where do the leads come from? And I got to say this: we do things differently, and you got to understand our mission. We teach people how money works, because financial literacy is not being taught. If someone asks us, what do you do for a living? I say, I teach people how money works. I do not say I sell life insurance. I sell life insurance, I become an entirely different person. If I'm literally helping them with their finances by teaching them how money works, I have an entirely different approach. We do not look for people who wish to buy insurance. I mean, one of the big problems the new agents have is they say, go talk to your brothers, your sisters, your parents, your cousins, and sell them a policy or two. And after a while, when your relatives or your friends see you coming, they think they treat you like a vampire and hold up the cross and the garlic. We forbid people to tell anyone they sell insurance. We teach people how money works. Now, we do sell insurance, but we do it entirely differently. We look for people who want financial help. And part of the financial help could be they might need insurance. Now, we don't make a big deal about this. When we do the analysis you saw the financial professional doing, it may very well turn out they have no need whatsoever. If that's the case, that's okay. That's okay. We use social media very much for our training. We do use warm markets. We do encourage people to go out and talk to their friends about financial literacy. But social media is also where we reach out. And there's a lot of different types of social media out there. But 78% of business owners say they get their growth in their organizations through networking, and that's social media. Back in the olden days, 20 years ago, you go to Chamber of Commerce mixers, and you sit there and you talk to people and you trade cards and trade literature maybe, and most of that stuff ended up in a garbage can when they left. But Alignable is very much like a Chamber of Commerce mixer. They put people into a group of kind of like a Zoom group. It's a free system. You say 50 people go into a meeting. The host will then divide people up into two people conversations. They put them in two people in a room. It's kind of like speed dating, if you know what that is. You got 6 minutes to talk to this person. You don't sell them anything. You just learn what they're doing. They learn what you're doing. You find out there may be something you want to talk about later on. Great system. LinkedIn is also another great system. In LinkedIn, there's millions of people worldwide as part of the LinkedIn system. Here's an example of how LinkedIn works. You have connections. You make first level connections, second level connections. First level connections are people you have something in common with, somebody you should know. And you find them by a lot of different ways. And you have a search bar. You can put in seeking or looking, and you can find out in the United States there are 4.8 million people that were seeking or looking. Now, some of these people may be looking to hire somebody, so they're not all looking for a job or an opportunity. So you have to be a little careful on what you do with that. I've got about 5,000 first level connections. Of those, 1,600 of them are seeking or looking, and probably 10% of them are looking to hire somebody. So that's about 1,460 people that I have right now that are first level connections. And basically what you do is you make a contact with them, either by phone or by email. Say, look, I know that we've never talked before, but we have something in common. I was raised in a small town, and so someone in a small town, that person and I could talk about what it was like in a small town. I raised 4-H calves. I owned a nightclub once upon a time. I've done a lot of different things, but I can talk to these people, and then I can introduce them to the fact that what I'm looking for and see if they're interested in learning more. If they are, great. If they're not, we part friends. But that's LinkedIn is a great example, and we have some people that's the only thing they ever use. And there's free and there's paid versions of LinkedIn. Just like with Alignable. Alignable is free. You can go to all their. It doesn't cost you anything to go to an event where you pair up with somebody. They do connections. That's where it starts to cost you money. But your first level contacts are your common market. And a lot of times with the common markets, you will get an email address. Almost always you get an email address. and frequently you get a phone number. And there are other ways you can get a phone number if you so desire. Facebook is another one. We have one group that does a big training on Facebook. They create a private Facebook group, and they do training on that, and they talk to people. They kind of use that as kind of like a Lineables use. Your website, you get several different websites when you come into Virtual Financial. There's one with WealthWave, which is basically talks about the money milestones. That's a recruiting website. There's a training website for called E2E, Employed Entrepreneur, and we're doing a lot of work in the entrepreneur area. In fact, we'll be coming out with a book to help people learn to be an entrepreneur. And then there's the How Money Works website, which is where the book is talked about. And also with all these websites become presentations. I've shown 6 of them here. There's probably really as many as 100 presentations, and these are presentations you can use to, like I'm doing here today. You can, they're not PowerPoint, but they're very much like a PowerPoint. There's slides and there's all the text is there. You can read it or paraphrase the text and present a pretty good presentation. They're mostly training. The money ones are on training. The E2E ones are on how to be an entrepreneur. We also have presentations on becoming a team member with Virtual Financial. Your territory is North America. It's really the United States. Canada is a little bit hinky. I shouldn't say that. Canada, they've got, every province is very different. There's no nationwide regulations, and you have to be licensed individually, and you cannot. You cannot. If you're licensed in one province, you cannot just pass the license. You have to take the test in every territory, every province. So we don't do much with Canada, but there's 333 million people in the United States. That's enough people there we can talk to. But your office is anywhere there's an internet connection. We have a person right now in Sicily. The biggest problem with being outside of the United States, if you're not in South America, are time zones. At 8 o'clock in the morning, it's 5 o'clock in Sicily. So if you're going to talk to, his name is Dan, if you're going to talk to Dan and you want to talk to him before noon, you don't want to call him for a 6 p.m. meeting. He'd be sleeping that period of time. So, but again, you can also you don't have to have a fixed location in the United States. You can get an RV or a motor home, and you can drive around to different places and tour the country, and you can use Elon Musk's internet connection system, which works very, very well. And whenever you want to work, you just stop and log on to your computer onto the internet, and you're in business. That's your office. We don't need fixed offices. So now that's another huge advantage we have. We have a proven online business system. This is our circle of success. This shows the steps, and we bring in all new people. We have tiers on that, and they're very structured. The way they go about them is very set, pretty much in concrete. And what we do, we train, we analyze. We have different people. Some people are just going to be clients. They're in the gold part in the center of it. They're going to be a team member. They're on the outside of it. Our big objective is we want people to move from employees to business owners. This is the casual quadrant from Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Most people start out life as an employee. You all may be employees on here, I don't know. But then they move to be self-employed. But self-employed is really just, it's still the same as employed with a different boss. In fact, in many ways, it might be a lot harder because you're doing everything yourself now. What we want people to do is we want to make them business owners. That is where the money is. That is where you get other people working for you. You don't have to when you're self-employed, you're limited how many hours are in the day. But with business owners, you're limited how many people you have. In conclusion, our production line solves the agent turnover and the product knowledge problems, and those are gigantic problems. Our social media training solves the lead generation. We have a system that works. It's been proven. It's been tested. We're having the greatest month of the year we've ever had this month, and this year is going to be a dynamite year. We need new agents, and that's what this presentation is for. We have 3 options. If you just want to be a client and see how we work, some people are curious about that, so they'll be a client. We'll send you a book. We'll schedule a meeting with a financial professional, and we'll let it go with that. Or you can start part-time. Most of our people do start up part-time. That's one of the things with you go to a lot of the big companies, you have to be full-time because you have to go into an office full-time. Ours, you can be part-time. You can work as long as you have 10 hours a week where you can work at this. You can be a part-time person. You do have to be licensed because you can't get money unless you're not licensed. You can't even talk about products unless you're licensed. Or you can become full-time. It's up to you. If you want to become full-time, I would suggest that you do have enough income to last you for 3 to 6 months, because the income does not come rapidly when you're starting from scratch. Now, some of you may have agents now with a good product line, and you can get things going real quick. Don't know, but for someone that comes in has never been an agent, they need money to get started with. So that's our program. Happy to answer any questions you've got. Happy to send you a copy of the book. I do need a mailing address for a copy of the book because this is a real book. It's not an ebook. And text me or call me if you'd like to talk about joining the team. That's all I have now. Thank you. Have a great day.